children. Today we have to learn the new chapter, chapter 10, straight lines. So first we can revise some important formulas that you have studied last year. So the first one is distance between 2 points. P and Q are 2 points. P is x1, y1, Q x2, y2. And what is the distance between P and Q? The distance between P and Q is denoted as PQ, that is defined as square root of x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. This is the distance between 2 points P and Q. Now the next is section formula. That is, if R divides the line segment joining 2 points P and Q in the ratio m is to n internally. Internally means the point R lies in between P and Q. So R divides PQ in the ratio m is to n. Then what are the coordinates of R? So here P x1 y1, Q x2 y2 and R just x comma y. Then how to find x and y in terms of x1 y1 x2 y2 and the ratio m is to n. So the coordinates of R x comma y, that's equal to m into x2 plus n into x1 by m plus n. This is the x coordinate. Now y coordinate is m y2 plus n y1 by m plus n. These are the coordinates of R. Now if R is the midpoint of PQ, if R is the midpoint of PQ means m is to n, that is 1 is to 1, equally PR and RQ are equal. So what about the coordinates of R? So coordinates of R x comma y, m and n 1. So 1x2 plus 1x1, or we can write as x1 plus x2 by m plus n is 2, comma y1 plus y2 by 2. This is the midpoint formula. Now the next is area of a triangle. Area of a triangle if its vertices are given. So A x1 y1, B x2 y2, C x3 y3. What is the area of this triangle? So area of triangle ABC is equal to half into x1 into y2 minus y3 plus x2 into y3 minus y1 plus x3 into y1 minus y2. This is the area of the triangle. Area is equal to 0. What is the meaning of that? Area of triangle ABC 0 implies the points A, B and C are collinear. If 3 points are collinear, then the area of the triangle ABC, that's equal to 0. This all you have studied in the last year. Now the new topic is slope of a line. So before that we have to learn what is angle of inclination. So when we draw a line in xy plane, this xy plane, when we draw a line in xy plane, it forms two angles with x-axis. So this is a line, this is x-axis, I can find an angle here and here. Okay. Now these two angles are, then we know that when two lines intersect there are 4 angles, vertically opposite angles are equal. So when I draw a line like this, then there are 2 angles with x-axis. These are supplementary. Okay. Now what is angle of inclination? So look at the figure. Here the line L, the angle theta. Angle of inclination means it is the angle made by this line L with a positive direction of x-axis. Positive direction means this side is positive. When we take this side of x-axis, values are negative. So, the angle made by the line L with positive direction of x-axis and measured anti-clockwise direction. It is not clockwise, it is anti-clockwise direction. So, this angle is known as angle of inclination. So, what is angle of inclination? Angle of inclination is the angle made by the line L with positive direction, means right side you have to take, okay, not this side angle, the right side. So, angle made by the line with positive direction of x-axis measured anti-clockwise direction. So, this angle is known as angle of inclination. Now, what is slope of a line? So, this is the line L. What is slope of a line? Slope means with respect to x-axis, how much is this? This measure, how much? So, with respect to x-axis, we have to measure the opposite of that. Okay. This theta is the angle of inclination of this line. Then slope of a line means this theta with respect to this axis. How much is this measure? Okay. So, we need this measure and this also. So, when we consider this right angle triangle, this opposite and adjacent side we need. That opposite by adjacent, that ratio is tan theta. So, if theta is the inclination, if theta is the angle of inclination of a line, angle of inclination of a line, then slope of the line is defined as, slope of the line is defined as tan of theta. Okay. So, theta means, you just imagine there is a line in xy plane. Theta is the angle made by the line with positive direction of x-axis measured anti-clockwise direction. Okay. So, tan of that value. So, there will be a right angle triangle, its opposite and adjacent. So, how much is this? Okay, based on this x-axis. That value tan theta, that gives slope of the line. So, slope of a line is defined as tan theta, and also the theta value of theta is in this range, that is 0 less than or equal to theta less than or equal to 180. So, if a line is like this, okay. So, here if the line coincides x-axis or parallel to x-axis, then the angle theta is taken as 0, okay. So, when it rotates, then theta value of theta increases, isn't it? First the line is like this, either it coincides with x-axis or parallel to x-axis, theta is equal to 0. That is, angle of inclination of a line parallel to x-axis is 0. Then if it moves like this, then theta increases 10, 20, 30 like that it increases, and if it coincides y-axis or perpendicular to x-axis, then what is the angle here? That angle is 90 degree. Okay. So, angle of inclination of a line parallel to x-axis is 0 degree. Angle of inclination of a line parallel to y-axis or perpendicular to x-axis is 90 degree. Then what is the slope of those lines? So, if a line parallel to x-axis, the slope is defined as slope tan theta. So, if theta is equal to 0, if theta is equal to 0, then tan 0, what is the value of tan 0? Tan 0 is 0. Then if theta is equal to 90 degree, that is when the line is like this, then theta is 90. So what is the slope? Tan 90. Tan 90 is not defined. Okay, tan 90 is not defined. Also the slope of the line is denoted as m, the small letter m. So m is equal to tan theta. This is the slope of a line if theta is the inclination of the line. Okay, so once again, what is slope of a line? So slope of a line is denoted as m, that is defined as tan theta, where theta is the angle of inclination. What is angle of inclination? The angle made by the line with positive direction of x-axis measured anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so here the line L, the angle is theta, that is angle of inclination is theta, then slope of the line, it is m is equal to tan theta. Then value of theta is 0 less than or equal to theta less than or equal to 180. So if it is acute here, obtuse. Okay, if this angle is obtuse, the other will be acute. So the range is 0 to 180. Now the next is, if the line is parallel to x-axis, slope is equal to tan 0, that is 0. So we can say that slope of x-axis is 0, or slope of a line parallel to x-axis, that is also 0. Then slope of y-axis. Slope of y-axis means the angle is 90 degree. So slope of y-axis tan 90 is not defined. Slope of y-axis is not defined. Also slope of a line parallel to y-axis or perpendicular to x-axis is also not defined. Okay. So if theta is given, if theta is the angle of inclination of a line, then its slope is defined as tan theta. Then if the line passing through 2 points, then how to find the slope? Okay. So here slope of a line when coordinates of any 2 points on the line are given. So here the line is L passing through 2 points P and Q. P is x1, y1, Q is x2, y2. Then how to find the slope? Okay. So if theta is the angle of inclination of this line, then slope is equal to tan theta. Okay. Now tan theta in terms of this coordinates, how we relate. Okay. So if theta is the angle of inclination of L, then m is equal to tan theta. Slope is tan theta. Now we have to connect this to the coordinates. So here from P, one perpendicular to x-axis, Pm, from Q, Qn is the perpendicular to x-axis, and from P, PR is perpendicular to Qn. Also here this angle is theta. Since this one is theta, this x-axis and PR are parallel lines. So these are corresponding angles, they are equal. Now we consider the triangle PQR. Consider triangle PQR or PRQ. There angle RPQ is equal to theta. Okay, since the corresponding angle is equal. Now what is tan theta in this triangle? Tan theta is equal to opposite by adjacent. So QR by PR. And what is the value of QR? QR is same as Qn minus Rn. And PR is same as, this is the origin, okay, On minus Om. What is Qn? Qn is the y coordinate. Qn is equal to y2, isn't it? Qn, it is y2. What is Rn? Here x1, y1, that is this length is y1. This one is y1, this total is y2. So Rn is y1. So y2 minus y1 by, what about On? O to n. This x coordinate is x2 and Mn is from here to Mn, no, Om. Om is x1. So On is x2 minus x1, that is tan theta. Okay. So this is another result for finding the slope. So if a line passing through 2 points x1, y1 and x2, y2, then the angle between, the slope of the line is defined as y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. And here I took this theta as acute angle, isn't it? Here this is the line L, this is the angle of inclination, the angle made by the line with positive direction of x-axis measured anti-clockwise direction. So this angle is smaller than, that is less than 90 degree. So that is known as acute angle. So here the case 1, theta is acute. Okay, theta is the angle of inclination, that is acute. So what is the formula for finding the slope? Tan theta, that is m is equal to tan theta is equal to, if theta is given, you can find the slope as tan theta. If the line passing through 2 points given, then we can find the slope as y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. So the next is, if theta is obtuse. Obtuse means more than 90 degree and less than 180 degree. So here case 2. Case 2, theta obtuse. So here also the line L passing through 2 points Px1, y1 and Qx2, y2. Theta is the angle of inclination. Look, angle of inclination is the right side, that is positive direction of x-axis and measured anti-clockwise direction. Don't take this 180 minus theta as angle of inclination. So here theta is the angle of inclination. So what is the slope of the line? Okay, tan theta. Then here this side is, if theta is this one, then here it is 180 minus theta as linear pair. Now from P, draw one perpendicular PM to x-axis, from Q, Qn to x-axis perpendicular, then PR is perpendicular to Qn. So we get a right angle triangle here, PQR. Now here we have 180 minus theta. So here the angle is 180 minus theta. What is the reason? The corresponding angles are equal. So now you consider. So consider triangle PRQ. Angle RPQ is equal to 180 minus theta. Okay. So we are taking tan of 180 minus theta. Okay. Tan theta is defined as the slope. So tan of 180 minus theta in this triangle. So tan of 180 minus theta means opposite by adjacent, that is QR or RQ by PR. And what is RQ? RQ is QN minus RN. Then what about PR? PR is O to M minus O to N. Then QN. QN is the y distance. Okay, here it is y2. Qn is y2 and Rn here y1. So y1, the total is y2. So y2 minus y1 by, what about OM? O to M. Look, M P x coordinate is x1 and ON is x coordinate x2. So x1 minus x2, isn't it? X1 minus x2. Now the left hand side, tan 180 minus theta. 180 minus theta is in second quadrant tan value is negative. So left hand side is minus of tan theta, that's equal to y2 minus y1 by, if I take negative in the denominator, taking negative outside, then x2 minus x1. Okay. Or minus tan theta is equal to minus of y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. Minus and minus cancel. So tan theta is equal to y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. So no change in the result. The first one also we got like this. Okay. So once again, if theta is the angle of inclination of a line, then slope of that line is m is equal to tan theta. Then if the line passing through 2 points x1 y1 and x2 y2, then slope of the line is defined as y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. Whether this theta is acute or obtuse, the result is same. Okay. So you can find slope of a line by using two results. That is, when theta is given, slope is tan theta. If the line passing through 2 points, then slope is y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. So both are same. Okay, tan theta is equal to y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1 is denoted as the letter m. Then slope of x-axis is 0, slope of y-axis is not defined. Or slope of a line parallel to x-axis is 0, slope of a line parallel to y-axis or perpendicular to x-axis is not defined. I hope this much clear. Now on to the next topic. Conditions for parallelism and perpendicularity of lines in terms of their slopes. So here look at the figure. We have two lines L1 and L2. So if L1 is parallel to L2, what is the condition? Okay, in terms of their slopes. So here look, this L1 alpha. Alpha is the angle of inclination of L1. What is the angle of inclination? The angle made by this line with the positive direction of x-axis measured anti-clockwise direction. Like that, beta. Beta is the angle of inclination of line L2. So what is slope of L1? Slope of line L1 is equal to M1. Notation is M1, that is equal to tan of alpha, since alpha is the angle of inclination of the line. Okay. Now what is slope of line L2? It is M2, that is equal to tan beta, since beta is the angle of inclination of the second line. Now these two lines are parallel. So what about alpha and beta? Alpha and beta are, since L1 is parallel to L2, alpha and beta are corresponding angles, they are equal. Therefore, alpha is equal to beta. So can I write tan alpha is equal to tan beta? Okay, tan alpha is equal to tan beta. Then the measure of this angle of inclination is from 0 to 180. In the first quadrant tan value positive, second quadrant tan value is negative. So here, since alpha is equal to beta, tan of alpha is equal to tan beta. So what is tan alpha? It is M1 is equal to M2. Okay. So when two lines are parallel, their slopes are equal. Converse also true. If M1 is equal to M2, that is two slopes are equal. M1 is tan alpha is equal to tan beta. then we can write as alpha is equal to beta. Alpha is equal to beta means corresponding angles are equal. Therefore, we can say that L1 is parallel to L2. Okay. So, when two lines are, you have to keep in your mind only this much. When two lines are parallel, their slopes are equal. So, two slopes are equal means the lines are parallel also. Now, the second is perpendicularity. So, look at the second figure. Second figure is L1 is perpendicular to L2. That's why here 90 degree. Okay. So, here also vertically opposite angles are equal. There also 90 degree. Then alpha is the angle of inclination of the line L1. Okay. Angle made by the line with the positive direction of x-axis measured anti-clockwise direction. Then beta is the angle of inclination of the second line. So, what is slope of line L1? Slope of line L1 is M1 is equal to tan alpha. Slope of line L2, M2 is equal to tan beta. Now, can you see a triangle here? Here one triangle. For this triangle, beta is the exterior angle. Beta is the exterior angle. What is exterior angle theorem? Exterior angle of a triangle is equal to sum of interior opposite angles. So, beta is equal to alpha plus 90. Beta is equal to alpha plus 90 or 90 plus alpha. Okay, which implies applying tan on both sides, tan function. So, tan beta is equal to tan of 90 plus alpha. So, tan beta is equal to, why we apply tan function? Then only we get in terms of M1 and M2. What is tan 90 plus alpha? 90 plus alpha means in second quadrant tan function is negative. So, minus of tan alpha. Not tan alpha. Tan will change to which function? Since it is 90 here, tan will change to cot function. So, cot alpha. Now, tan beta is equal to minus of cot alpha is same as 1 by tan alpha. Okay. Now, what is tan beta? It is M2, tan beta is M2. M2 is equal to minus 1 by M1, or we can write M1 into M2 is equal to minus 1. So, this is the condition for perpendicularity. That is, when two lines are perpendicular, then product of their slopes is equal to minus 1. Okay. Converse also we can prove. Converse means if M1, M2 is equal to minus 1, that is product of two slopes is equal to minus 1, then we can write M1 is equal to minus 1 by M2, or M2 is equal to 1 by minus 1 by M1. M2 is tan beta is equal to minus 1 by tan alpha, or that is cot alpha minus of cot alpha. Here tan, here cot. So, we can't equate. So, cot convert to tan. Minus cot alpha is same as tan of second quadrant value 90 plus alpha. So, tan beta is equal to tan 90 plus alpha, or beta is equal to 90 plus alpha. So, what is the difference between alpha and beta? Alpha and beta differ by 90 degree. That means they are, alpha and beta are angle of inclination of two lines L1 and L2. So, L1 and L2 are perpendicular. Okay. So, when two lines are parallel, their slopes are equal. When two lines are perpendicular, product of their slopes is equal to minus 1. Okay. So, once again we can revise. So, the first one is slope of a line. Before that, angle of inclination. Angle of inclination means the angle made by a line with the positive direction of x-axis measured anti-clockwise direction. Then, slope of a line. If theta is the angle of inclination, it is m is equal to tan theta. Then, if the line is parallel to x-axis, slope is equal to 0, perpendicular to x-axis or parallel to y-axis, slope is not defined. Then theta, the value of theta is 0 less than or equal to theta less than or equal to 180. Then how to find the slope of a line when it passes through 2 points? The result is m is equal to tan theta is equal to y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. Okay. Whether theta is acute or obtuse, that is not at all important. You have just subtract y coordinate by x coordinate. Then when two lines are parallel, their slopes are equal. M1 is equal to M2. When two lines are perpendicular, product of their slopes M1 into M2 is equal to minus 1.